Congratulations on your purchase of the Teeter X2 inversion table. If you have any questions or need any help along the way, don't hesitate to contact Teeter customer service at the number on your screen or visit teeter.com/support for live chat assistance. For the best experience, it is critical that you follow the assembly instructions and read and fully understand the user guide attached to the equipment before inverting. Please read the following warnings and all instructions before using your X2 inversion table. Before getting started with assembly, first unpack and prepare your workspace. If possible, assemble the equipment at or near the space in which you intend to use it to avoid moving it later. Unpack all parts and support materials. Set aside packing material and clear your work area. Locate the hardware kits packaged with the manuals. They are labeled to correspond with the assembly process. Step 1. Assemble A-frame and handles. On a level surface, position the A-frame so that it is standing upright and the stability feet are on the ground. Gently push down on the spreader arms to ensure they are fully open and in the lock position. Look for temporary circular assembly assistance labels on the A-frame. Right, left, front, and rear indicate your position while using the equipment, not facing it. These labels can be removed easily upon completion of assembly. Locate the handle assembly hardware kit HK1008. Determine the left or right handles marked with an embossed L/R on the inside of the black plastic part of each handle. Position the lower handle portion of the corresponding handle, left or right, at the rear junction of the A-frame leg and spreader arm. The lower handle bolt with spacer has been assembled loosely so that you will be able to seat the U-shaped portion of the lower handle over the spacer in between the spreader arm and the A-frame leg. Do not tighten the bolt yet. Keeping the lower handle portion seated onto the spacer, align the upper handle portion's black plastic part over the outside edge of the hinge plate on the A-frame. Insert and loosely hand-tighten 3 of the Allen head bolts through the hinge plate into the handle. Now, tighten the lower handle bolt using the 5mm Allen wrench and open wrench provided, ensuring that it is fully secured but not over-tightened. Finally, tighten the Allen head bolts for the upper handle using the 5mm Allen wrench provided. Repeat these steps on the other handle. Step 2. Assemble table bed. Locate the table bed assembly hardware kit HK1010. Place the table bed face down on the floor and push down on the support beam so the 2 holes align evenly with the holes at the base of the upper support arms. You may have to exert extra pressure to ensure that the support beam slides over the rubber spacers. Insert the 2 bolts into the open holes. Thread a washer and nut onto each bolt and hand tighten. Using the 6mm Allen wrench to steady the bolts, tighten the nuts onto the bolts with a 10x13mm open-ended wrench. Step 3. Assemble the roller hinges to the table bed. Familiarize yourself with the 3-hole roller hinge in cam lock terms. The roller hinges control the responsiveness of the rate of rotation of the inversion table. There are 3 holes. The hole selection depends both on your body weight and your preferred angle of inversion. The A setting is the top hole closest to the pivot pin, B is the middle hole, and C is the bottom hole. Determine your recommended hole selection using the chart shown. Your roller hinge setting and balance may vary depending on your body weight distribution. Refer to user guide for troubleshooting. For ease of assembly, rest the table bed against the crossbar of the front of the A-frame. On one side of the table bed, lift and hold the cam lock up all the way to unlock. In your other hand, hold one roller hinge near the pivot pin. With the pivot pin facing out, away from the table bed, slide the bottom of the roller hinge between the cam lock and the bracket in the same direction as the arrow label located inside of the cam lock. Tip: make sure that the cam lock is completely open when inserting the roller hinge, otherwise assembly will be more difficult. Engage one of the holes in the roller hinge over the bracket pin. Push down on the cam lock to lock it and secure the roller hinge. Repeat on the other side. Make sure the roller hinges are in the same hole settings on both sides. Use your recommended hole selection based on the chart from page 8. Step 4. Assemble table bed to A-frame. Face the front of the A-frame where the crossbar is located. Grasp both roller hinges right above the cam lock and lift the table bed. Allow the top of the table bed to rotate towards the floor so that the back of the table bed is now facing you and the top of the table bed is in front of the crossbar. Lower each roller hinge pivot pin into the A-frame hinge plates, one side at a time. The self-locking hooks will open to allow the pivot pin into the hinge plate slot, then automatically snap closed over the pivot pin. Tip: you may need to push outward on the hinge plate in order for the second pivot pin to lock in place. Make sure that each pivot pin is seated at the base of the slot in the hinge plates, and that the self-locking hooks have been closed over both pivot pins. Rotate the table bed so that it is facing up. Ensure that it rotates smoothly. See also Image A on page 12 to ensure correct assembly. Step 5. Assemble main shaft to table bed. Stand on the left side of the A-frame, holding the main shaft with the height markings facing up. Begin to slide the end of the main shaft into the main shaft housing at the base of the table bed. With your right hand, pull out the height selector locking pin and slide the main shaft in further. Release in the desired height setting. Refer to the user guide for more information on selecting your height setting. The main shaft must rest against the crossbar of the A-frame. Important: the crossbar prevents the table bed from rotating forward when the user steps on the ankle comfort dial. If the main shaft does not rest on the crossbar as shown here, then the table bed has been assembled backwards onto the A-frame. This must be corrected before use. Test the inversion table by hand for smooth and steady rotation and ensure that all fasteners are secure. Misassembly check. Image A demonstrates that the roller hinges have been assembled upside down into the table bed and must be corrected. Go back to step 3 for instruction. Image B demonstrates that the table bed has been assembled into the A-frame backwards, so the main shaft is not resting on the crossbar and must be corrected. Go back to step 4 for instruction. Image C shows correct assembly. Proceed to step 6. Step 6. Attach angle tether and head pillow. The tether will come pre-assembled to the A-frame. Unfold the adjustable tether and clip it to the U-bar on the underside of the table bed. Slide the buckle to lengthen or shorten the strap depending on your desired maximum angle of inversion. To attach the head pillow, locate the slots at the top of the table bed just beneath the handhold as shown. Insert the 2 pointed ends on the back of the head pillow into the slot of the table bed and pull through from the back of the table bed to secure the pillow into position. Step 7. Attach optional lumbar bridge. The lumbar bridge provides even deeper decompression and improved alignment benefits. Personalize the intensity and target zone of the lumbar bridge by adjusting the height and position of the arch within the slots on the table bed so it fits comfortably at the small of your back. Position the bridge with the Teeter logo at the base and facing toward you. First, insert the bottom 2 notches of the bridge into the desired horizontal slots on the lower portion of the table bed. Bend the bridge to the arch height you desire and insert 1 top notch into the corresponding slot on the upper portion of the table bed. Modify the positioning and arch height as needed. Note: long-term storage of the lumbar bridge in high arch setting may result in distortion of the shape and ability of the bridge to move to lower arch settings. Store in its flat position when not in use. Use of the lumbar bridge may impact the rotation of the table. Set the angle tether to a moderate inversion angle and use a spotter until you are able to find the correct balance settings and are comfortable with the operation of the table. Start in a lower level arch setting and work your way up. If you feel any discomfort, lower the setting until you are comfortable or discontinue use. The lumbar bridge works between intermediate and moderate inversion. Full inversion moves the body away from the table bed and will reduce the effectiveness of the bridge. Step 8. Attach optional acupressure nodes. Personalize the intensity and target zone of the acupressure nodes by positioning the varying sizes along the bed tracks as desired. Determine your desired node position along the table bed. Unscrew the black backing from the node and insert the backing into the slot from the rear of the bed so the threads are visible from the front. Twist the node clockwise into the backing to secure. Do not over-tighten to avoid damaging the node. Repeat as desired with additional nodes. To shift node placement within a track, simply loosen the backing and slide the node in the slot. Start with the smaller nodes and work your way up to the larger ones. The ideal placement of the nodes depends on where your muscle tension points align with the slots in the table bed. The pressure of the nodes will vary as the table rotates up or down. The nodes work best between intermediate to moderate inversion, 20 to 45 degrees. Full inversion moves the body away from the table bed and will reduce the effectiveness of the nodes. While inverted, stay at a static incline to maintain a steady pressure. Or oscillate, move between different angles of inversion for a massaging action. Use of the nodes may cause muscle soreness. If you feel any discomfort, decrease or discontinue use. Next steps. This is your step-by-step guide to customizing your user settings for a smooth and effortless inversion experience. If the user guide is not already attached, secure the chain to the A-frame through the designated hole in the hinge plate. Allow the user guide to hang freely on the outside of the A-frame spreader arms so it doesn't interfere with the rotation of the table bed. Important: once attached to the A-frame, do not remove the user guide. It should remain permanently attached to your inversion table to serve as a reference for all users in regard to proper adjustment and use of equipment. Congratulations, your X2 is now fully assembled. If you have any questions or need any help along the way, don't hesitate to contact Teeter customer service at the number on your screen or visit teeter.com/support for live chat assistance.